the news this week on my beat is Stephen Colbert signing off The Late Show. And he's been choosing to be so positive. He's radiated gratitude. He has said, I'd rather be grateful for the time I had on air than be angry that it's ending. Even though he thinks he's probably the victim of a political hit, and he thinks that there's all sorts of shenanigans going on behind the scenes. And I really admire that. And I found myself wanting to lift that up in my reports because we need those kind of role models. You know, we need, I mean, as someone who was canceled by CNN years ago, and now I'm back at CNN, you know, you need role models in every phase of your career, phase of your life about how to go about living a certain way. And I'm thinking about Colbert as exactly what you want to be, as opposed to, I have someone in mind for what I just heard as the opposite about the kind of people who are fearful, who are acting out of fear, who are acting out of self-protection. But you're right, they're in every company. It just happens to be, in my case, in television with the morning show, or dramatizing and making it real.
What you know, Joe. Joe Concha, Fox News contributor.
So we got Joe Concha back on with us, Fox News contributor, author of The Greatest Comeback Ever, Inside Trump's Big Beautiful Campaign. Joe, welcome back. Good to have you back on the show.
Always a pleasure. Your Cardinals are playing fairly well. Not as well as my Cubs, but, you know, that's the way it goes.
I thought you were a Mets guy. You're a Cubs guy? Are you
not
Mets?
Guy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
no, not Mets. I don't mind the Mets, but I love Wrigley and I love the rivalry with your Redbirds. So yeah, there you go. Let's move on to more important stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't expect the Cardinals to be doing this great so far this season, so we're enjoying the ride for sure. So, but those Cubs are coming to town soon. You should come to a St. Louis Cardinals Cubs game sometime. We'd love to treat you.
Can you get me tickets?
Oh, I probably can.
I'll do it.
People. Okay. Well,
really?
There you go. Yeah,
all right.
Let's see what we can do.
It's a done deal. I want to throw out the first pitch.
We could invite.
That's a bucket list thing for me.
Okay. Well, I'll do what I can. Maybe Stephen Colbert could come with us. I hear he's going to have some time on his hands.
Oh, good pivot.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's done tomorrow night. Colbert is. The perpetual second place show, 1 million less viewers than Greg Gutfeld, will be going off the air. The guy who lost $40 million per year for his show. Annie, I can't get my head around this because you have a radio show. I have a radio show, right?
Yes.
And I get TV's a little bit different, but he has more than 200 staffers. What are they doing exactly? It's two people talking across a desk for 90% of the time. Or you got a monologue, fine, need a couple of writers for that, you need a band, whatever. 200 staffers?
Well, you and I have 200 staffers.
The model is broken.
That's how we do things here. We got a big staff.
That's true. Yeah.
My one staff is looking at me like, where are they? why are they not here? Is Colbert, did he fail? I mean, because they're claiming, we played that Brian Stelter clip saying that Colbert has been canceled. Did he get canceled or did he fail?
He failed. And look, I'm not basing this on opinion, on ideology, and the fact that he has had on one Republican in the last 6 years, and that Republican, and I'm putting it in scare quotes, Liz Cheney. Ooh. All right, so right, so anti-Trump Republican doesn't really count. Look, again, the numbers are the numbers, and the numbers are that he was losing big money for CBS, right? And he was finishing a very distant second, and every show was like Groundhog Day, where the jokes are all the same: Trump, 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 fascist, fascist. You know, the things that he said weren't even comedy; it was hateful, vitriolic. And when you tell half the country, screw you, I don't care whether you watch or not, that's going to fail from a business perspective. And CBS is a public company, Paramount, Skydance, public companies. They have to answer to their shareholders. And when you're losing that kind of money, you get rid of a show like this. And the show that's coming in, Annie, it's going to be Comics Unleashed. And apparently through, budgeting and whatnot, the person that is in charge of this has already said that $150 million per year will be saved as a result of this show going on, as opposed to Colbert. It's a business decision. It's not Trump ordered it to be, canceled, because after 10 years, Trump suddenly decided to take a show off the air. And how does he have the ability to do that exactly?
Yeah.
That's all it is, Annie, and nothing more.
Even if we wanted to live in the fantasy of the Stelters of the world or the Colberts, even if we wanted to dip our toe in that weird fantasy world that they live in, Donald Trump takes Colbert off the air. Let's talk about what they did to Donald Trump. What the left actually did through the Justice Department, through the bureaucracy and the swamp that exists there, they tried to put him in jail. I don't think that Donald Trump has taken Colbert off of the air. I agree with you. I think that he's a failure at being able to do the ROI thing for the business he works for. But the brand going forward for Colbert will certainly be Donald Trump took him off the air.
Of course. Yeah, it's a sympathy thing. But again, like for 10 years, Colbert, like on a nightly basis, the entire monologue is about Trump. And then suddenly Trump had this epiphany that, oh, maybe I could just get him off the air. Like, who cares?
Now.
Of course that's not going to happen. So, yeah, that's where we are at this point. We'll be stuck, I guess, with Kimmel. Mm-hmm. Disney likes losing money, apparently, because Kimmel loses the same amount of money for ABC and Disney as Colbert did. But this is the broken model at this point. When you alienate half the country, you're not going to make money. And just try to be like Carson, try to be like Letterman in his, younger days. Just entertain people. They want escapism at 11:35. They don't want MSNBC meets CNN meets some sort of weird version of the Lincoln Project. That's what these shows have become.
I like that you bring up Kimmel. We're speaking with Joe Concha right now because it will be very interesting to see what happens to Kimmel now that Colbert is off the air. I think that Jimmy Fallon does a pretty, I don't know, milquetoast. I don't mean it in an insulting way, but he's pretty innocent. I like a good Jimmy Fallon interview for what it is. But with Colbert being gone, maybe everybody floods over to Kimmel so that they can all cry together every night before they go to sleep. But if what they put in place of Colbert is actually entertaining, this could potentially be detrimental for Jimmy Kimmel. They might be ABC might look at him and say, I think we have a business decision in front of us as well.
Yeah, I think so. He got a 1-year extension, Kimmel did a couple months ago by ABC and by Disney. But, ABC, again, ABC News is run by Dana Walden. Who's that? That's Kamala Harris's best friend from Brentwood, Pennsylvania, who literally introduced Kamala to her current husband. And, I don't think it's about profit. I really do think it's about activism. They really don't care. They're going to get paid either way. So there you go. But I think in the end, late night is not going to be what it used to be, unfortunately, which was a place where you could laugh, right? And I play Carson clips on my show, Annie, every day, as far as Carson with Rickles, Carson with Rodney, Carson with Frank Sinatra or Burt Reynolds, actual entertainers. Jake Tapper has appeared on Colbert's show twice as much as George Clooney. Think about that for a moment. Yeah, the excitement that is Jake Tapper. Or Bernie Sanders also appeared more than 20 times. Bernie Sanders. Yeah, that's electric. That's entertainment right there. It's all about activism, all about pushing a message. And again, it didn't work.
It didn't. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Joe Concha speaking with us. Let's talk about somebody who maybe Trump actually kind of did cancel. Thomas Massie. I know you're really sad about the election results last night out of Kentucky.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing, and I get hit on Twitter on this all the time, that, well, he's a man of principle, and Thomas Massie stood up for XYZ. Thomas Massie never once, ever, actually proposed something that could pass as far as a bill, as far as anything. This guy voted against the Iron Dome in Israel, which without it, Israel would not exist, right? 420 yes votes to 9 votes, 8 Democrat, and Thomas Massie, by the way, with Democrats. He voted against the big, beautiful bill, which would have raised taxes if not passed and given Democrats a huge victory. This guy, I don't mind if you stand on principle, but he has no alternative solutions. When he knocked out Kevin McCarthy and tried to take out Mike Johnson, it's like, okay, who do you want as House Speaker? And he never has an answer.
Yeah.
So, again, it's all performative and good riddance to Thomas Massie because, again, I'm not saying like you have to bow to Trump, but I'm saying that if you have some sort of problem with what he's proposing, give us something to at least cling on to and say, oh, that's an alternative that could actually pass with the votes it needs. He never offered that, and that's my problem with him.
Do you feel as though Thomas Massie came into the House of Representatives the way he left it? Do you think it changed him?
Did it change him? All I know is this, that he never talked about in one interview. I went back and looked, Annie, not one interview from 2021 to 2025 about Jeffrey Epstein and those files. And then suddenly Trump comes in and, oh boy, he cares about the victims. And he's touring with Ro Khanna, and CNN and MS Now love him. It's going to be great, Annie, to see the Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, co-hosted show on CNN, which is probably coming to weekends on there, or MS Now, because that's exactly where this is going. You oppose Trump, you get a lot of TV time, you get a lot of fundraising, but in the end, are you doing anything better for your constituents in Kentucky in this case, or in general? And the answer is obviously nope.
Yeah, they go from representative out of their district to influencer back to their district, and it becomes about them and not about their constituents. And I guess in a democratic republic, this is what happens. They choose somebody else. We choose you, Joe Concha. Thank you for being with us here today. We look forward to having you back again soon.
Annie, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care. Let's go to a game sometime soon.
Go Cubs.
Cardinals.
Yep.
Bye.